welcome back. I figured why not. Day 2. I'm gonna do it anyways. Might as well just record it for you guys. Got my coffee. A beautiful Gilroy traffic behind me. And I'm gonna repeat a few of the stretches that we went through yesterday. But today I'm gonna wanna spend a little bit more time in some quote unquote loaded positions. It'll just be my body weight, but trying to get my body back to the understanding of exercise and while not also exercising. So not pushing it too hard. I'm starting out right now in just a seated saddle pose. I've got my toes tucked underneath me, stretching out my quads, all the muscles around my knees, and I'm just trying to sit tall. And I'm trying to align my spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. So I'm thinking about at the top, tucking my chin, staying tall, and just taking deep breaths to kind of ground myself. I feel a little yuckiness in this left knee, kind of inside of it. So I'm actually going to hang out in this stretch until I feel like that starts to go away or get worse. And if I feel like it's starting to get worse, I'll come out of it. But I can feel it starting to fade away, and so it's telling me to stay in this pose just a little bit longer. It's missing this range of motion, and it's happy to get it, even though it's giving me signs maybe it's not. Because it's getting better, that's why I'm staying in it. Always making sure that my out breaths are longer than my in breaths. Helps trigger that parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest. Making sure I'm breathing in through my nose, out through my mouth like a sigh. All just little signs to my autonomic nervous system to relax, to calm down, to rest, to heal. This knee's feeling pretty good now, so I'm going to come on out of that. Side groin stretch. Again, like I said, I'm going to start to kind of load these things a little bit, so you can see my body weight is pushing down into my groin. I'm trying to drive the knife edge, which I'm not doing a very good job of, but I'm trying to drive the knife edge of the outside of my foot into the ground at the same time. So I'm thinking push that way while my hips are pushing straight down. And today's gonna be active, so it's an active pose. And I'll try to go between like maybe some active and some passive just to get some rest in there if I start to feel like I'm working a little too hard. But I wanna stay in these poses until I feel like I'm increasing the range of motion, or I feel the muscle relax a little bit, or I feel even just my body actually start to relax into the pose. Right now I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I want to change positions. I feel like I want to get out of it. And so I want to own these positions. And right now my body's saying, you don't own this space. So I'm going to take my time to sit in it until I feel like, oh, I'm starting to own this space. It's starting to feel more normal. I'm starting to feel like I can push down in the outside edge of my foot a little bit more now. I'm feeling the space in my groin, so I'll go ahead and come on out of that and I'll switch to the other side. You might be asking, like, hey, do we do the same amount of time on each side? And you can do that for sure. I think that's great. There's no rules here, right? When we're stretching, it's more just about getting our bodies to relax and paying attention to ourselves for a little bit. But I think it's more about just understanding that I'm trying to increase the range of motion. And I want to increase the range of motion as close to the opposite side as I can. So I'm reminding myself of what it felt like on the other side, which it felt way more open on the other side of my groin, but not as open on my like IT band outside of my legs. So I'm just kind of noticing the difference, and I'm going to try to get my groin to feel the same as the other side, or at least closer to it before I come out of it. Again, reminding myself to take deep breaths through my nose on the inhales. This helps trigger the diaphragm to breathe, which again, when I breathe into my gut, triggers that rest and digest, that parasympathetic nervous system. All right. Now I want to tie those two stretches into the purpose, and the purpose is for me to get back to a squat. So now I'm going to put that into a squat. I'll go down as low as I can, start to hit that thing above parallel, so I'll hang out here and I'll just hold this. I'm pushing my knees out, I'm grabbing the ground with my toes, trying to create a good arch in my feet, and keeping the glutes engaged. I'm trying to lift my chest up while I do it. I'm just trying to stay active the whole time. Ooh, spicy. That felt good. All right, now I'll probably go into some passive stretches. So we'll hit that hip flexor stretch that we actually kind of started with yesterday. Again, pushing into the back of my back foot, or the top of my back foot, and then relaxing, trying to take up that space. Pushing down, relaxing, taking up the space, and then just hanging here for 30 seconds and breathing. I like the idea of number of breaths too, so I'll probably do like 3 breaths per stretch. So that was 2, so here's 3. Then I'll switch to the other side. I feel like sticking to a clock sometimes forces you to maybe get out of the pose a little too early, or stay a little bit longer than you want to or need to. And I feel like instead, if I just focus on breath pattern, like my body is going to do a breath pattern that seems just perfect almost every time. So pushing into that back foot, relaxing, taking up that space, pushing in. And I do that for about 3 to 5 count. Relax, taking up that space. Try that one more time. And then just hanging out, 30 seconds, breathing. All right, we'll go into a little bit of a groin stretch, and then I'll probably hit a squat and be done. We'll make it a short one today. Something hopefully you guys can do on your lunch break or a quick break from work. Benny's here, ready to play. Hold on, I gotta stretch my groin first. I got one arm, I can't do that. Okay, hold on. And back to the program. This feels better than it did yesterday, that's for sure. Still right side, but much easier to get into today than it was yesterday. So this is where the talk of motivation comes in. My theory is that motivation is actually not the feeling I have right now. It's actually what I did yesterday was motivating me to be motivated today, because I had the opportunity to feel the difference. So I tried to change my mindset that motivation is not actually a happy feeling. Motivation is the hard work. And when I'm working hard, I'm actually motivating myself. And changing that narrative in my mind has been a big help for me, because when I'm working hard, I'm like, oh, I'm going to feel this motivation tomorrow when I go to restretch it. And I can definitely feel right now the motivation to keep going and do day 3 and day 4 and day 5, because I'm noticing the difference today. So. And I almost didn't do this stretch thing, so I'm happy that I did this. Good job, Wes. Good job. All right, coming out of this bad boy. Whoa, nice and slow. Let's take that into a squat. Put it together. And how long should we do this squat for? Well, as long as we can hold good positions. As long as I can grab the ground with my toes, create an arch in both feet. As long as I can push my knees out. As long as I can keep lifting my chest up. And I'm increasing range of motion. So I feel like I'm getting deeper into it. I'm gonna keep holding it. Benny is ready to play again. Come here. Look, come here. I think that's good for today. Thanks for hanging out with me guys on day 2 of this shoulder rehab program. I hope it just motivates you guys to get out there and do a little bit more than you probably think you want to. I find that most people who move more, not less, recover faster, feel better from these types of things. So I hope this motivates you to do that. If you guys have any questions for me about anything health or nutrition or CrossFit related, please hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching.